Has that been on this whole time? Wow, that's embarrassing. Anyway, coming up this week I have a special PC gaming episode of The Perspective. I review the news from the past week, I take a look at some of the gaming communities of the PC realm, and I give you my review of the PC version of Left 4 Dead. All this coming up in 30 seconds on the Sharp and Pointy Perspective.
Spike 10, 15, got games to play. If you don't like the scores, then get out the way. From Wii to 360 to PS3. All hail to PS 360. I'm telling you if anything's defective, it's the Sharp and Pointy Perspective. It can be hard, it might sound mean. Too bad, it's like 10, 15.
Well, I got here this week in gaming. We got more info on Battlefront 3. First, there was leaked camera footage showing not much. We did see some first-person shooting and some flying along with your traditional Battlefront gameplay. Also, there's a rumor that the job of development from this game is going back to Pandemic, the developers of the first two Battlefront games and the more recent Lord of the Rings Conquest. It appears that Final Fantasy XIII will hit store shelves later than everybody had hoped. Square Enix just announced that, for America at least, we won't see Final Fantasy XIII on store shelves until 2010. Bummer. Capcom has announced that a new Resident Evil 5 demo is almost upon us. You can expect to get your hands on this demo come January 26th. Until now, we didn't know anything about Doom 4 except that it was in development, but now we know who's writing the game. Acclaimed sci-fi writer Graham Joyce, who is responsible for such science fiction works as Indigo and Dark Sister. The Doom series hasn't really been very strong in the story department so far, so let's see if Joyce can change that. And finally, I just want to point you guys towards my new website at spike1015.gamerhomies.com. Gamer Homies is a community website where gamers of any kind can get together and talk about that favorite hobby. Spike1015.gamerhomies.com is my corner of the site where you'll find all the latest news, reviews, and game trailers, along with written forms of all the perspectives from here on out. Okay, moving on. People say that there are countless different communities within console gaming, and they would be right, to a point. You have your shooter fans and your RPG fans, but inside those different groups are only slight differences. Halo fans aren't so different from Gears of War fans or Resistance fans. The same cannot be said for PC gamers. In PC gaming, the communities of different games may be so different from another game of that genre that you would think that they were completely dissimilar games. So I've decided to go over a few of the radically different demographics of PC gaming communities that I've encountered. Please note that some portions of this segment are intended to be extremely offensive, but only to the type of people that I'm talking about. Not all players of these games are like this, just a vast majority that I've run into. The Battlefield player. These players are quite tactical. They enjoy squatting up and working together with their team. Unfortunately, if you're not in a team's clan, you don't have any hope of communicating, as Battlefield players have this strange aversion to using the voice chat that's included in the game. Voice over IP, or otherwise known as VoIP, is rarely used instead of third-party voice chat options such as TeamSpeak or Ventrilo. This means that if you don't have one of these programs, or you do and you don't know the server's TeamSpeak IP, there is no communicating, which will turn you into one of those people. Those people are the morons who don't know how to communicate and never join a squad. They never join a squad because when they do, they get kicked because they don't communicate, thrusting this poor soul into a vicious circle of hatred. The Garry's Mod player. Garry's Mod is a game that lets you manipulate the source engine without needing any code knowledge. Basically, it's a game of extremely complicated building blocks. The average player you will find in this game has no love for his fellow man, and will take every opportunity to coin a phrase, totally screw him over. He does not understand that spawning an object the size of a planet will crash the server he's in. He does not understand that everybody hates him when he blows an unsaved creation that took someone hours to make to pieces. There is another type of person that plays this game, and that's the clueless person. The person that thinks that A plate with a few hoverballs and a chair is the greatest creation ever. Then he cries his head off when somebody tells him to stop bragging about the creation that everybody makes their first day playing. And finally, you've got the Counter-Strike Source player. These are the biggest jackasses, the biggest jerks that you will ever encounter. They hate you in a way that you have never been hated before. They can't shut up about the things that they have done to your sister or mother with various household objects. They can be best described as akin to the 6-year-old kids on Xbox Live, only grown up and twice as obnoxious. They also fancy themselves to be the next Clay Aiken or somebody, because they love to sing or play music over their headset. Actually, I don't think they love to do this. I think they love to listen to you writhing in agony while they're singing. Any admins you find in this game are to be avoided at all costs, since they are the most power-hungry 5-year-olds you will ever meet. Now, I need to stress that not everybody is like this. Just about 75% of all players with headsets on these games. I could go on, but I'd just end up offending more people.